The sound of metal striking metal echoed through the small garage as Marcus wiped sweat from his brow, his calloused hands moving with practiced precision beneath the hood of the stranded sedan. He didn't notice the little girl watching him from the passenger seat, her eyes wide with hope, or hear her whispered plea that would change everything: "Please marry my mom." If this story touches your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more real-life stories that remind us kindness still exists in this world. Marcus Jenkins hadn't planned on being a mechanic that rainy Tuesday afternoon. The 34-year-old single father had just picked up his daughter Lily from school when he spotted the blue sedan, hazard lights blinking desperately on the shoulder of the road. Steam billowed from under its hood, and beside it stood a woman, phone pressed to her ear, frustration evident in her posture as rain soaked through her thin jacket. "Daddy, that lady looks sad," 7-year-old Lily observed from the back seat of their weathered pickup truck. Marcus sighed, checking his watch. He was already running late for his second job stocking shelves at the local grocery store, but something in the woman's defeated stance tugged at him. 3 years ago, after his wife's death, strangers had shown him kindness when he needed it most. Maybe it was time to pass that forward. "Let's see if we can help," he said, pulling over. The woman, Sarah Mitchell, had been having the worst day of an already difficult month. A single mother to 6-year-old Emma, she'd just been laid off from her administrative position. The car breaking down on her way home from a disappointing job interview felt like the universe's final cruel joke. The towing company wanted $200 she didn't have, and her brother wasn't answering his phone. When Marcus approached offering help, Sarah's first instinct was caution. But something in his kind eyes and the presence of his daughter made her trust him. "I'm a decent mechanic," Marcus explained. "I work construction during the day, but I've been fixing cars since I was a teenager. Mind if I take a look?" While Marcus examined the engine, Lily and Emma quickly formed the instant friendship that only children can. Sarah watched in amazement as this stranger methodically diagnosed her car's issues, explaining that her radiator hose had burst but he could rig a temporary fix to get her home. "My shop is just a few blocks from here," Marcus said, referring to the small garage attached to his modest home where he occasionally did repair work for neighbors. "If you'd like, I can properly fix it there." Sarah hesitated, calculating the cost in her head against her dwindling savings. Reading her concern, Marcus added, "No charge. I have a spare hose that should fit your model." "I couldn't possibly," Sarah began. "Please," Marcus insisted. "It's not a big job, and I'd feel better knowing you and your daughter get home safely." At Marcus's garage, while he worked on the car, Sarah and Emma waited inside his small living room where Lily proudly showed Emma her collection of second-hand books. Sarah noticed the sparse furnishings, the carefully mended curtains, the wall of photos showing Lily at various ages with her father, but none recent with a mother. When Marcus came in to wash up, Sarah offered to order pizza as thanks. Over dinner, the adults discovered shared experiences of single parenthood, of stretching dollars until they screamed, of the particular loneliness that comes after putting children to bed. "How did you learn to fix cars?" Sarah asked. "My dad taught me. After he passed, I kept his tools. Started fixing neighbors' cars to make extra money after." He glanced at Lily, lowering his voice, "After my wife's cancer treatments drained our savings. Now I just do it occasionally when someone needs help." Sarah nodded, understanding the unspoken weight of his words. "Emma's father left when I was 5 months pregnant. Decided fatherhood wasn't for him." As the evening progressed, the children played while the adults talked, finding unexpected comfort in shared struggles. When it was time to leave, Sarah's car purred perfectly. "I don't know how to thank you," Sarah said. "No need," Marcus replied. "Just helping a neighbor." "We're not exactly neighbors," Sarah smiled. "We live across town." "Well, maybe we could be friends then," Marcus suggested, surprising himself with his boldness. In the car on the way home, Emma was unusually quiet. "What are you thinking about, sweetie?" Sarah asked. "I like Lily's dad," Emma said simply. He fixed our car and made you smile. You don't smile much anymore, Mommy. Over the following weeks, their families began to intertwine. Marcus helped Sarah prepare for job interviews while she assisted with Lily's reading homework. The children became inseparable, and weekend park visits became a regular ritual. 3 months later, Sarah secured a better job than the one she'd lost. To celebrate, she invited Marcus and Lily for dinner at their apartment. While Sarah and Marcus washed dishes after the meal, Emma tugged Lily into her bedroom for a secret meeting. "I have a plan," Emma whispered conspiratorially. "I think your dad should marry my mom." Lily's eyes widened. "Do you think they like each other? Like in the movies?" "My mom puts on lipstick before your dad comes over," Emma said with the certainty of someone who had discovered definitive evidence. "And she laughs at all his jokes, even the not funny ones." The girls giggled, plotting their matchmaking strategy. That evening, as Marcus was fixing a leaky faucet in Sarah's kitchen, he couldn't help himself from fixing things. Emma approached him with solemn determination. "Mr. Marcus," she said, her voice barely audible. "Please marry my mom." Marcus froze, wrench in hand, as Sarah entered the kitchen just in time to hear her daughter's request. The room filled with a thick, awkward silence. "Emma." Sarah gasped, mortified. "But Mommy, you said he makes you feel safe," Emma protested. "And I want a dad like Lily has." Marcus looked at Sarah, whose face had turned crimson. "Did you really say that?" he asked softly. Sarah couldn't meet his eyes. "Emma, please go to your room for a minute." After Emma reluctantly left, Sarah sighed. "I'm so sorry. Kids say the most embarrassing things." "But was it true?" Marcus pressed gently. Sarah finally looked up. "Yes," she admitted. "You do make me feel safe. And not just because you can fix things. Because you're kind and steady and—" She trailed off. Marcus set down his wrench and took a step toward her. "I haven't felt this way about anyone since Lily's mother," he confessed. "I didn't think I would again." Their first kiss was interrupted by the sound of giggling. They turned to find Emma and Lily peeking around the doorframe, hands clasped over their mouths in delight at their successful matchmaking. 6 months later, Marcus proposed, not with an expensive ring, but with a handmade wooden box containing 2 smaller boxes inside. "One for each of our girls," he explained as he knelt before Sarah. "Because I'm not just asking you to marry me, I'm asking if we can become a family." Their wedding was small but joyful, held in the community garden where they'd spent so many weekend afternoons. Emma and Lily served as flower girls, beaming with pride at their successful conspiracy. As Marcus and Sarah exchanged vows, Emma whispered to Lily, "See? I told you my plan would work." Lily nodded sagely. The best plans always do. 1 year after that rainy roadside meeting, the newly formed family moved into a modest house halfway between their previous homes. Marcus converted the garage into a proper workshop where he began teaching both girls basic car maintenance on weekends. Sarah's new job allowed them financial stability they'd both lacked for years. On the anniversary of their first meeting, as they prepared a special dinner, Sarah found Marcus in the garage, teaching Emma how to change oil while Lily handed them tools. "You know," Sarah said, leaning against the doorframe, "when my car broke down that day, I thought it was the worst luck." Marcus smiled, wiping grease from his hands. "And I almost drove past because I was late for work." "I'm glad you didn't," Sarah said. "Me too," Marcus replied, pulling her close. "Best detour I ever took." From the other side of the car, Emma's voice piped up. "See, Mommy? I told you he should marry you." The adults laughed, and Marcus scooped Emma up in a hug. "Smartest 6-year-old mechanic's assistant I know." That night, after the girls were asleep, Sarah and Marcus sat on their porch swing, his arm around her shoulders. "Do you ever think about how many things had to go wrong and right that day for us to meet?" Sarah asked. Marcus nodded. My dad used to say that sometimes the breakdowns in life lead to the breakthroughs. As they sat in comfortable silence, watching fireflies dance in their small yard, they reflected on how two broken families had found wholeness together, all because a little girl had the courage to whisper what everyone was feeling: "Please marry my mom." Sometimes the most profound love stories begin with a broken-down car and end with a family made whole again. If this story touched your heart, please remember to like and subscribe for more stories that remind us that even in our darkest moments, hope and love can find us in the most unexpected places.